Howdy, howdy. Sue Devil here, and I just wanted to do a quick update video on the testing that I did with all the slows for the Dowie units. Now, I didn't actually put in the Rune Lord because I thought, his abilities are basically the same. A Rune of Wrath and Ruin, minus 48% speed. And these things don't stack. But, as it was pointed out by Brachysera, and thank you for the comment. I love comments. This is why I love comments. They actually are different, because this is the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and this is the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin. So I thought I'd go and do a quick test to show if they stack, because this is actually quite important and valuable to know. So thank you, Brachysera. Awesome. We'll go and start this battle, because this is actually pretty interesting. We got some Grail Guardians here, some Bretonnian. They're the most expensive cavalry they can get. And we've got some Giant Slayers, because I just love them. Giant Slayers are amazing. So let's just grab our units here, and we'll start the battle. Get our Giant Slayers going, but you can see we use the Rune of Wrath and Ruin. We bring them down to 37 speed. We use this guy's Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Does nothing to their speed. We use our Rune Lord's Rune of Wrath and Ruin. Bang, down to 7 speed. So they do stack, the Rune Smith and the Rune Lord. The Rune Smiths don't stack, but if you also want to use your armor, again, you can see our Slayers, I've used them both, and they only have 30 armor. They don't stack, but I use the Rune Lords for 60, and our Slayers now have 90 armor. Giant Slayers with 90 armor, anyone? This is absolutely insane. I guess they've always stacked, but I mean, I always thought of their abilities not stacking, I guess. Because the Rune Smith's abilities certainly do not stack with the same ability, but the Rune Lord's ability is the Master Rune, so it is different, and it definitely does stack, and it's pretty damn powerful. And you can see we've taken out this unit of Grail Guardians in what, like, less than 30 seconds, 25 seconds? Pretty insane, really, if you think about it. And, yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. So when we look at the debuffs that we have available to us, I didn't actually go over the Rune Lord because, I just thought, well, his Rune of Wrath and Ruin is minus 48% speed, and it is the same. So what I would think is, just as a way to end this, is that we already know our Rune Lord is actually a very competitive Lord, especially on his Anvil of Doom, and now he gets that Locus of Power for the extra 15% magic resistance, but you can bring him on the field with just the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, and you can bring these other runes if you want. And he does have this new item, the Ward Save, which is pretty huge, 33% damage resistance to make him super tanky if you really want to. And he has his old 20% missile resistance. But at 1412, you bring the Runesmith. You can bring the armor if it's going to make sense, but with the Hammer of Karak draws and the Rune of Wrath and Ruin, you can stack those, and this lasts for 18 seconds, and the Master Rune of Wrath and Ruin, I believe, lasts for 36 seconds. You can basically lock down a unit with 7 speed or 10 speed. Basically, it can't move. It's not a hard CC, but at 7 speed, you are not moving away from anything. And that would give plenty of time if you had Giant Slayers or Dragonback Slayers, or you just wanted to let your units shoot for free. Like, you could cast, because this has a 150 meter range, and you look at your Thunders have what, 130 or something? Let me see, where is our Thunders? 145. This is pretty cool. You could actually, if they say you were fighting the High Elves and they had a dragon coming in, kind of ahead, and they got into range they were trying to get into range to just skirmish and harass. They get into range to your Thunders. At that point, you cast the Rune Lord's Master Rune and the Runesmith Rune, and it's down to 7 speed, and you just let your Thunders blow it out of the sky before it even gets close enough to use a breath attack or something like that. Like, there are definitely synergies here, and this is one I didn't know existed. Thank you, Brachysera. Very, very nice, and hopefully a nice little update for those of you that are watching. And this is a very, very competitive pick for the Dowie. Like the Rune Lord has always been a solid pick, and same with the Rune Smith. But this pair, instead of the 2 Rune Smith build, is pretty darn good. And with the Rune Smith in 832 and that Hammer of Karak Draws, which is a 50-second hex, and the ability to, get some extra armor or, even buff him up, 33% ward save is huge. Like that is a pretty big deal. And he has 52 melee defense as it is. That's going to make that Rune Lord pretty darn tanky. So, and I mean, he has like, where's this ability? Rune of Hearth and Home. Anything that's close to him is immune to psychology. You can use that for those Dowie forces that don't have immunity to psychology. Anyways, this is a very good pick, and their buffs do stack. So there is one more unit in the Dowie roster that has that really you have to look at differently than just the plain Runesmith. So if we look at our Runesmith, our Rune Lord, obviously Grombrindle with his Flash Bomb, which is very, very strong, and our Master Engineer, which has a weak slow, which is, it's not nothing, because we saw in our testing that 12%, I think it's 12%, 12% speed reduction is not nothing. It's enough to bring some units so that they can actually get away. So again, I think Tormentor Sword was nerfed pretty good in the last patch from 18 seconds. At 18 seconds it was unbelievable, but down to 9 seconds it's quite a bit less. And now that the Dwarfs don't have it, that doesn't mean the Dowie don't have ways to deal with fast units, particularly with the Rune of Wrath and Rune having 150 meter range. Like you can double cast that from quite a long ways away, even if you have your Runesmith and your Rune Lord separated by quite a distance, and you have this constant slow with your Master Engineer and all the always dangerous Dragonback Slayers. And of course, if you do want to bring Grombrindle with that really hard CC, that Flash Bomb minus 76% speed is pretty crushing actually. You do have those options, and although I think the Rune Lord is the most competitive, Ungrim Iron Fist is still pretty darn awesome, even stripped down. He's still 1350, still all kinds of awesome. I don't know, someone had asked if they had their mass increased in the last patch, and I don't actually know that answer. I might be able to find it at some point, but there are definitely options for the Dowie. Losing the Tormentor Sword is, it's not great, because now the Thane has almost no use whatsoever. No real use. They might have a niche use here and there, but they're not going to be a main part of the meta anymore for the Dowie, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. So anyways, hope you found that testing interesting. Love to hear some comments down below. Love to hear if you've used this double Ruin. I've never used it. I didn't even know you could, because I just assumed that you couldn't stack these, because most abilities from the same type of hero you can't stack. But you certainly can, so which is absolutely awesome. So thanks again, Brechysera, for the comment, and definitely want to hear comments from other people. Love to hear comments on the testing, on testing you'd like to see, on just in general. Like I love comments. They're so interesting. I mean, it's such a good group of people in the comments. Really, people that you guys just like to think your way through things, and you're curious like I am, and you want to know and understand the game on a deeper level, and I just love it. So I'll look forward to comments down below, but that's all I have to say for now. Hope you enjoyed the update, and I will see you soon.